8.5 minutes to go. Illinois, Michigan State, competitive. Illinois does not score a point in the final 8 minutes and change. Michigan State beats the Illini 79-65, and in doing so, Tom Izzo becomes the Big Ten Conference wins king. Most wins in Big Ten play in the league's history with 354, passing Bob Knight. Congrats to Coach Izzo. Jeff, what on earth happened to Illinois tonight?
I mean, it was on both ends of the court. They were playing so well offensively, getting a ton of offensive rebounds, making shots, and then defensively, it was a combination that they were playing well, but Illinois could not make a shot down the stretch. It didn't like the last 8.5 minutes of the game. But I just think this Michigan State team doesn't have a star. We know that. They're not the most talented team, although I think they're more talented than we gave them credit for when we saw them back in the Champions Classic back in November. And part of that is Jace Richardson. Part of that is Trey Holman played very, very well tonight. Fears has gotten better. But I thought it was the bigs down the stretch. Jackson Kohler was a monster. Cooper was pretty good. Mm-hmm. They were all over the glass. They looked like men. And frankly, down the stretch, like Illinois looked like boys. You know, even like like Will Riley. You know, I don't know what he weighs, but those guys were pushing him around to get offensive boards and clear space and get putbacks. And really they had their way in the paint, you know, in the final, 10, 12 minutes or so against the Illini. So this was a hell of a win because a lot of people were kind of questioning, all right, Michigan State, they had that easy schedule in the front half of the Big Ten. Now they're going to get exposed, and that started to be the case a little bit. And if they got blown out tonight, that would have kind of furthered that whole mantra. But this is a big one for Izzo, certainly for Michigan State and for, their seed to kind of stay up there right now and maybe get a good seed come Selection Sunday.
Well, Michigan State needed it after losing 3 of their last 4, and you got to give credit to Jackson Kohler, 23 and 10, made 4 threes, doubled his career. I think he had 8 threes coming in his career, and he made 4 of them tonight. A couple of big offensive rebounds there. I thought it was a really impressive performance on that end for Michigan State. But to me, the story of this game, it feels like there's a lack of leadership on this Illinois team. And the reason why I say that is you mentioned they didn't score the last 8 minutes, 29 seconds. They missed 19 straight shots, guys. 19 straight shots. After they got Michigan State in the bonus, 12 of those 19 shots were threes. A lot of them were settles. Some of them were good looks, but a lot of them were settles. They missed 4 layups or dunks. They missed the front end of a 1-on-1. And then they let that offensive struggle carry over onto the defensive side of the floor. And yes, you're right, Goodman. We're talking about a team that has like senior big guys dealing with a team that has freshman big guys, and you can kind of see the strength kind of way out. But I thought that Illinois really there's no other way to say it other than choking down the stretch of that game, had a lot to do with a lack of leadership on that team. And it feels like there's nobody that is going to kind of grab them by the scruff of the neck and say, listen, we're not doing this. We're not settling for these step back threes. You're not taking 1-pass threes with 23 seconds left on the shot clock. We're going to try to get the ball in the paint. We're going to try to get a paint touch. We're going to try to get kick out threes. Maybe, just maybe, we'll find a way to be able to get Morris Johnson rolling to the basket. Maybe, just maybe, we're going to let this 6'8" athletic Will Riley, future lottery pick, find a way to be getting drives to the rim. It did not feel like they were ready for that kind of a moment, and Michigan State certainly was. And, I think Brad Underwood kind of recognized some of that. He's been tweaking the lineups. Trey White didn't play tonight. Dre Gibbs-Longhorn played 3 minutes. It feels like
continues in Champaign.
Yep, the talent is there, right? But it feels like finding the group where these pieces fit the way that they need to fit has been something that Brad has been struggling with for the last month. And part of it was injuries. Part of it was the flu bug that went through. Part of it was mono, whatever it was. They just have not found a way to be able to get everybody on the same page at the same time. How does Kyle Boswell taking 2 shots on a night like this? There's a level of leadership there that I think is missing on this Illinois roster.
Where's Trey White? Where'd he go? Is he just
I talked about it the other night. So I think what the new the latest tinkering that Brad Underwood is doing is putting all of his shooters on the floor. He wants to be able to shoot all these threes, but when he has guys that aren't shooters, they're the ones that are left open by other teams. So they're the ones that are shooting these threes. So yeah, Hamrikis, Ivasic, Yakashonis, Boswell, Jake Davis, and Will Riley are your best perimeter shooters. So now they're doing the pick and roll, pace and space thing with nothing but good shooters out there. And you saw how that went tonight. Not great.
I smell something else. Yeah, I smell something else with this. He's averaging close to double figures. Where did he go? Something's awry here. He didn't even play a second in the game. We all know what this could mean. I'm not going windhorse here, but I'm thinking about it. You shot 7 for 33 from 3. Don't tell me a guy who scores around double figures a game couldn't have helped you a little bit in the game. And how does Kai Boswell, to Rob's point, how does he only take 2 shots? It's February 15th, Jeff. I'm tired of hearing about what the what-ifs are. They lost at home to a team that's good, a team that sometimes plays great, but it's not like Michigan State's loaded with these offensive options to put up close to 80 points on Illinois. They made 5 threes in the entire game. Look, Izzo's done a terrific job. Michigan State deserved to win the game, and they locked up Illinois' offense down the stretch. But do not tell me that Illinois has figured out this different way of playing, and it's all part of the tinkering process. It's mid-February now. Enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I don't
listen,
disagree.
That's part of the problem. Part of the problem is, again, when you're doing this in mid-February, how much confidence – Rob Dosser, he's ridden the roller coaster with the Illini fans. How much confidence can you have at this point? Like, you're on it, you're off it, you're on it, you're off. You don't know. I mean, poor Trevor Valise. Like, this guy can't sleep anymore. He literally can't sleep because of the Illini this year.